More asylum seekers are being picked up by Border Patrol after crossing the border from Mexico into San Diego.
This is new video from Jacumba Hot Springs today. These migrants were eventually processed by Border Patrol. County Supervisor Jim Desmond says it's happening so much now that he's calling San Diego the new epicenter for the nation's border crisis. Last week alone, Border Patrol apprehended more than 9,000 people within the San Diego sector. Now, a group of veterans is taking matters into their own hands by installing razor wire at the border with Mexico.
They call themselves the Border Vets. Their mission is to prevent illegal crossings. CBS 8's David Gottfredson followed them to the border area in Jacumba to check out the operation.
I'm standing in America right now. And now I'm standing in Mexico.
Kate Monroe started giving media tours of the border back in February when she was still running for Congress.
American Patriots, I'd like to call us the Border Vets.
She got a ton of publicity with a group she calls Border Vets. Monroe herself says she is a former U.S. Marine.
This is about protecting our nation. We've already let terrorists in, drugs, the drug cartels have control of the border, sex trafficking, drug trafficking.
News cameras follow Monroe to the Mexican border to videotape the Border Vets installing their own razor wire across holes in the border wall.
Our plan is to get 2 or 3 rows here so that there's actually some effective deterrent.
Monroe and another veteran named Brett Christensen took us to the border in Jacumba, an hour east of San Diego, where some of the razor wire installed earlier by Border Vets was still in place.
This is your razor wire right here.
Yep.
In other areas along the border, the razor wire had been pushed aside, and Christensen was able to easily cross into Mexico. That's where Christensen started picking up paperwork he says was left by migrants on the Mexican side of the wall.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Your whole mission seems to be to keep people from illegally crossing the border. But you just illegally crossed the border into Mexico.
Right, but what's the difference now?
Well, I mean, isn't it ironic that you're doing the same thing you're trying to prevent?
No, I'm trying right now to collect some evidence of what's going on to see what the problems are.
About a mile away, we ran into a group of migrants who had just crossed the border on foot, some of them through the same hole that the Border Vets had tried to secure.
This is every single day.
They wait here by the side of the freeway for hours and sometimes days so they can surrender to Border Patrol agents. CBS 8 photojournalist Jay Erdman was able to translate as we spoke to Jessica Salazar, a migrant from Colombia.
¿Qué vieron?
Muertos, sí.
They saw dead people through the Darien Gap.
Her journey started a month and a half ago, crossing the treacherous jungles of Central America.
No están aquí.
No, yo los dejé en Colombia, 4.
4 kids, I left them all in Colombia.
We also met a dentist from Turkey.
I hope for future treat people. That's my job. I am a doctor, so I hope treat people, make people good.
And we spoke to families with young children waiting for a chance to claim asylum in the United States. Are these the type of people that you're trying to prevent from crossing the border?
So the type of people that we're trying to prevent from crossing the border illegally is every type of person because they're doing it illegally. The young woman that you interviewed earlier from Colombia, while her story is sad that she's here, the story that got her here is also sad. The way in which we force people to come because we are unwilling to reform immigration causes all of this.
Back at the border, the razor wire installed by the Border Vets begged one final question.
Aren't you in effect breaking the law when you put razor wire up on federal property and build your own wall? Isn't that against the law?
Well, the federal government's breaking the law by allowing the onslaught of migrants to come into our country from countries all around the world. We have people coming across that we have found that are on the terror watch list.
The truth be told, this razor wire isn't really going to stop many people from crossing into the United States. But the border vets say that doesn't matter to them. They're going to keep coming back, and they're going to keep installing these barriers because they believe in what they're doing. In Jacumba, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
CBS 8 reached out to Customs and Border Protection and asked whether civilians laying down razor wire on federal property is legal. The agency released a statement telling CBS 8 that immigration enforcement is the responsibility of federal agents, and it closely monitors reports of activity that may interfere with law enforcement. CBP strongly encourages citizens to call the Border Patrol if they witness illegal activity.